Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Instead, I'm not going to make any presentation, but instead, I will ask some of the guests from Japan to make some presentation, very interesting presentation. But before that, I would like to introduce SOS Cosmo International Rescue Team activities. Early this year, I think the early springs this year, Cosmo L10B, which was owned by Canada, was shipped to Mexico, but during the course of transportation, it had a big damage in the front end. And I received the email from Kevin Hiraishi, and this kind of a problem happened. Is there any way to obtain the necessary component to repair the Cosmo Sports? And of course, I cannot do anything about it. So what I did, actually now the new chairman of the Cosmo Sports Car Club is Mr. Matsuda. Could you just stand up, please, over there? He's the new chairman of the Cosmo Sports Car Club. I sent him an email and I called him. Is there any way that Japan Cosmo Sports Car Club make some rescue on this particular damaged car? He sent out over maybe 60 emails or 70 emails to entire club members. And in a few days or even less than a week, I started receiving, okay, I can provide this. Oh, by the way, I got all the parts list, necessary parts list from Kelvin. But even a week or 10 days, many of the components, the necessary components, information came to me. And so finally, every component which are required to repair, restore this damaged Cosmo Sports was on the list thanks to the Cosmo Sports Car Club members. And most of the components, they said, I would like to donate, not to sell the parts, because they really would like to save this damaged Cosmo Sports in the United States from Japan. So that's a story, and after this, I'm going to ask Glenn to make just a short slide presentation before and after of the damaged Sports. But just before that, this year, total of about 15 Cosmo Sports Car Club members joined from Japan or from Seattle area. So could you just stand up there, Cosmo Sports Car Club members, please. And thank you. To make a short slide presentation about the before and after.
Thank you very much. My name is Glenn Roberts. I've got a body shop in Fountain Hills, Arizona. If anybody was here on 7 Stock 7, I had a Mazda R360 Coupe, which was Mazda's very first production car that they started building in 1960. That car apparently impressed Kelvin, who contacted me after the damage of this poor Cosmo that is kind of terrified looking, sitting in that empty box, which is a moving van. That's how they transported it in Mexico. And if anybody's been on the roads in Mexico, they kind of know that isn't really the way to transport a Cosmo without severe damage. That's how the car arrived at its destination in Mexico City for a car show. It's kind of snuggled up in the corner after getting punched in the nose 3 or 4 times. You can see they had tie-down straps somehow positioned under the car, which it jumped over. Obviously, it didn't tie it down at all. That's the result of the front end. It's kind of flattened out. That's the worst view of getting punched in the nose. When they originally emailed me these photos, and Kelvin said, "Gee, can you fix this car? We need it done in 2 months for the Monterey Historic Races at Laguna Seca, Mazda Raceway." And I said, well, we probably can't find any parts. We'll have to fabricate anything we can. Unbeknownst to me, somebody had tried fixing the car in Mexico City, and they they had done nothing but basically Bondo over a bunch of things, and they painted over Bondo with no primer, and it was kind of grim. These pictures show the car as we got it. That's the lower valance taken off upside down. That's their bodywork, which is kind of grim. That's us removing the paint off the front end after they had straightened it and put all the green Bondo and filler and stuff, which we also had to remove. That's the front valance after stripping off a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of Bondo. There's like 13 millimeters of Bondo sculpturing it, kind of. So it was very heavy. That's the front bumper. They actually tried to replate the front bumper, and they had a straight front bumper. We actually had to cut it in half and make a V into it again, and then metal finish it and send it out and be chrome plated again. They didn't really do us too many favors there. That's it after being metal finished. That took a couple days just to fit the bumper. It was quite a mess. That's the car after we had it in our paint booth. We just painted from the doors forward and matched the paint. That was really no big deal. And that's it again. Another shop. This is probably pretty boring unless you own a body shop, I guess. That's it during the final stages of assembly, getting everything refit. And I couldn't believe that Calvin was able to come up with all the parts thanks to the Mazda club in Japan. They worked wonders. I provided them a big list a wish list, and they provided every part that I had. That's the car in my house in Arizona after cleaning it up and getting it ready to ship to Racing Beat for some maintenance work. And that was I used to own a Mazda Cosmo, which I sold to Mazda North America just recently, so people could enjoy it more. And I had this trailer, which I transported the R360 and the Cosmo in, so it had custom-made tie-downs, and it was pretty safe. It had wheel nets that you safely put over the tires, so it wasn't going to move anywhere. So he was a little nervous about that. That's getting loaded up ready for the trip to California here. Comfortably in the trailer. Unfortunately, I couldn't get out the door once I put it in there. We had to push it back and get out. There's no way I'm going to climb out through a window. We actually had the car done, I think, a week or 2 weeks early, which was a relief. The chrome plating was out of my hands, and chrome platers in Arizona are really hard to come by. They're worse than body shops, if that's possible. And that's it, parked next to my old Mazda Cosmo that I sold to Mazda North America at Racing Beat's building. And that's it in front of their R&D. But it was quite an honor. I was very honored that Calvin and the Mazda selected me to repair the car. As I am also restoring a car for a customer, which I just recently bought as of last week as well. The customer had some health problems and had to quit. So I had 2 Cosmos, one of my own plus one of a customer plus the Canada car. So we had three out of theoretically 6 that I know of in the country in my same shop at the same time, which was quite spectacular for me. That was fun. And if you look at your tickets, we're going to raffle off the car right after. So everybody dropping their drop Mazda. That's it. I want to thank everybody again for their confidence in our shop. I appreciate that.